Welcome to the Tint Life Podcast with Montana, the Tint Craftsman, Kayla Ramirez, and Alicia Yancey's, brought to you by Pro Tinter and sponsored by Solar FX Window Films. Let's dive into the tint life together. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just tint curious, join us as we dive into the world of window tinting.
Welcome to the Tint Life Podcast. I'm your host, Montana the Tint Craftsman, and I'm here with one of my lovely co-hosts. I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm Kayla Ramirez, owner of Goddess Window Tinting.
Awesome. All right, Kayla, so we know you have a special guest that we're about to bring on because it is Women Wednesday. So what I normally do is I step out of the studio and let the ladies take over and do their thing, because this is the day, their day, so I'm going to bring in a special guest, and then I'll let the ladies take over the studio from there.
Okay, well, I am super excited to announce our special guest, the Tint Diva, but I will let you introduce yourself too.
Hi, I'm the Tint Diva. I'm my franchise, and I'm a new film distributor now. So, yeah, exciting.
That's so amazing. I just saw that actually. Tell me more about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, between my locations, I knew I was spending enough anyway, and I wanted to get into that side of it, and the opportunity presented itself. So I just made my own private label, and it's really taken off super fast. I mean, I'm going through a pallet a week right now. So,
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing. How long have you been at it?
3 months.
Oh, wow, okay. What's the name of it? Do you have a name? Have you?
Yeah, so it's just Tinner's Choice by the Tint Diva, and so we're really driving the Tint Diva name, and it gives tinners the opportunity to brand themselves. So a lot of tinners are going out, and doing flat glass and things, and what better way to make the customer remember them but to have their own logo on there, and they're like, this was made just for me. I'm the professional at this, and so it's a way to help brand flat glass tinners. We focus on the flat glass, and I give away all my secrets and recipes for flat glass marketing for free to all of my customers. So if they're buying my window film, then I will mentor and teach them how to go to straight flat glass.
Wow, that's amazing. How long have
Yeah.
you been doing flat glass?
Well, I've been doing flat glass the whole time I've been tinning, but I've strictly been doing it 3 years now.
Okay, so have you been
Yeah.
tinning 3 years or longer than that?
9 years I've been tinning.
9
Yeah.
years. Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
got you
I
into
had to give,
tinning?
I love it. I got into it really just to keep my hands busy. I just needed to stay out of trouble. And then I liked it.
What were you doing before that?
I was HR, human resources. So I ran Fortune 500 companies. I did the merger for AmSouth and Regions, the merger for AT&T and Singular. Like, I worked for a bunch of big dogs, and then I got in trouble. And you can't work in HR with a felony, so I couldn't go back to my career. And so I just needed my hands busy. I just thought I'd spend the summer tinning.
Well,
And
tinning is better anyway, right?
yeah, it's better money and better hours, and yeah, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you liking it?
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
I
you already
absolutely love it.
won. You won a competition already, so you must be really at it.
Well, yeah, we did. We took third place in the windshield competition, and it was so wild because, like, I'm used to having Mullet as my partner, and I watched Shady on TikTok Live, so I had a good idea of how he tints, and so we meshed together really well. I was very excited to take third place.
Yeah, that is super exciting.
I felt bad though because I got busy at Disney World. I didn't know I placed. So I left and went to Disney World, and next thing I know, they're messaging me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you want to get your prize?"
Oh my God, that's amazing. You were so nonchalant about it. You're like, oh yeah, I just competed, no big deal if I win or not.
Yeah, no big deal. Let's go see Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, right. That's amazing. That's so cool. Okay. So, what are some like specific challenges you faced being like a woman in the industry?
Well, a lot of things because, like, I started with cars and I just do flat glass here and there. And traditionally, customers are used to a guy doing the window tint. So I feel like I had to prove a lot more. I feel like I had to, kind of push my way a little more. The first 3 or 4 years, I just rented a bay at a detail shop, and that guy was really good at business, and he was real good at reading me, and so he knew if I was in a bind, and he would come take over and talk to the customer and things. But it's definitely been different. Now, I mean, we're just considered the leader in our areas, so it's not a big deal now. But those first 3 or 4 years, it was like clawing for the respect and recognition that, hey, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now we're drop off only. If we allow cars at all, which normally it's like 4 or 5 a week, just customers you can't get rid of. And we don't allow them to wait or anything. Sometimes they spend the night. I mean, the flat glass comes first. So it's completely different now. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was the biggest challenge, is getting the customer to realize that I knew what I was doing. They wanted me to explain everything, and they wouldn't have done that to a guy. Um, you
Yeah.
know, so it's definitely been a little different.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
bet. I mean, you grew so fast though. I mean, like only 9 years now you're making your own and now you're explaining it to everyone. Like you really took over fast.
yeah, I mean, I can't take credit for that. I mean, that's all God, honestly, because I mean, I opened my first shop with 7 months experience and $250. I mean,
Wow.
honestly, that's all I had. And, that I grew that to this. And, I didn't do that by myself. I didn't know what to do. I'd never had a successful company. I just kept doing the next right thing and taking care of customers and learning. So many tenners are proud of being self-taught. I'm not self-taught. I found a man with 40 some years experience who was willing to give me all his knowledge. He was willing to let me copy his pattern. Why should I waste my time trying anything else? He's already tried and failed and lost his money, and he's giving me the winning recipe. It's like
Yeah.
finding out the recipe for Chick-fil-A and deciding to change it. That's
Yeah.
dumb. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I went with his winning recipe, and it's the same thing with my distribution. It's a wonderful Eastman product. It's the same product I've installed for all these years. My first location was here in Texas, which is where I'm at right now. And so if a film will make it in the Texas market and not give up and perform and all these things, it'll make it in any market. And so same thing with that. I mean, my distributor prior, same film, is 40 some years out of Houston. So I'm just copying things that I have permission to copy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
Same thing with the flat glass. The man had excuse me, a flat glass only location in California, was very, profitable. And he taught me his recipe. Why change it? And that's the recipe that I teach now.
You're so wise for that. So many people are just stubborn and stuck in their ways and won't grow because of it.
Well, and
It's
I think some
amazing.
of them get stuck on, they want the recognition of being the one that came up with something. And that's great, and that's fine. But I've literally made over $1 million copying someone else's pattern that said, hey, that's fine, go be a winner. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, absolutely. So how long did he help you?
Well, I can call him any day of the week now, 9 years in, but I worked at his shop for 7 months, and
Oh,
then I
wow,
opened mine.
okay. That's not
Yep.
very long at all. You really jumped. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at the time, my oldest son was about to have a kidney transplant, and by jumping the list, it was going to cost me a lot of money. I also had 5 foster babies at the time, and so for me, I needed that extra money. And then my youngest son was living in Texas, which is Mullet. Everyone knows Mullet. He was living here in Texas with my brother because I had just gotten out of prison, and so I promised him I'd see him once a month, and I wasn't going to break that promise, and so I just jumped straight in. I knew I had my mentor. I could call him when I got in a bind, so I just jumped straight in. And then 18 months in, I took the Dodge contracts in Houston, and there's these couple of guys that own a bunch of Dodge dealerships in Houston, and I ended up taking those contracts and letting my employee run my shop, so I was essentially doubling up. And now that I'm distributing, those were my first customers. I mean, I'll deliver them 27 boxes Monday morning,
Wow.
So it ended up
Amazing.
being full circle. And that's the other wild thing. All the people I've taught to tint and the girls that I've given the locations to, because after they've given me a few years of their service and they've made me money and they didn't do anything foul, then why not give them a location? It takes a load off of me because I'm too covered up. I can't do it all. And
Yeah.
so I give them the location. And now that I distribute, they're buying my film. That was part of the agreement is you continue to use the film. Well, now it's my film. And so, yeah, they got it for free in the beginning, but I still get to make money off of them every month for buying my film.
Okay, so you just gave them your accounts and like now they buy your film?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Wow.
go and open these locations and spend 4 or 5 years growing the location, and then I'll give it to the top performing tenor at the location.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And then, I mean, you think about it. I could sell it because, of course, I am a franchise and I own the franchise. I could sell them the location and then they can make whatever choice they want to. They can buy whatever film they want, but that's a one time purchase price. Or I can continue to mentor them and continue to help them grow and continue to back them with the Tint Diva name, and they're buying my film. So until they're tired of tinting, I continue to make money off them, and they continue to make money because they continue to get the knowledge that I'm continuing to gain. Many of them
Yeah.
don't go to the shows. Many of them don't do the extra trainings and seminars and all the stuff that I do. And so I essentially go get it and bring it back to them. So it's a win-win. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool. So how many of
One of
them
those
are
shops
there?
is only a mile from my largest location. She's
Oh,
literally,
really?
made my own competition 1 mile from my shop. Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
So how many
it's awesome.
locations?
3.
3. Okay. Are they all in Texas? I thought, where are
No,
you?
right now I'm in Palestine, Texas at the Texas location. I come here once a month. My niece runs this location, and she's got more rabbit in her than I do because she started with 3 months in running a
Wow.
location. Now she does have the luxury of a plotter. I got her a plotter, but and I was hand cutting. So, but still, either way, 3 months, 7 months, that's crazy talk.
That
Um,
is.
but then I've got Gadsden, and it's got the 2 locations. But yeah,
Wow. So does everyone have a plotter?
no.
No? Okay. Yeah, hand
Um,
cutting. Hand cutting works. I mean, that's what I do right now.
yeah, I have one in each location as a backup, so to speak. But and I know this is gonna sound wild because I'm my own private label, but I cut for Disruptive. So, Edge sends me film to cut for them to go into the Disruptive program. I love to be a part of anything that's growing. So I don't see any of the other brands as competition. I think we all have our place in the market. I think there's some shops that need to be able to say, hey, I've got Autobahn. And just like I let my franchises lean on my Tint Diva name that I've built, same thing for Autobahn, Expel, any other big name that you can think of. And so, I do different things with them as well. So I like to hand cut. Um,
Yeah.
Pretty
So
fast
why
at
do
it
you
too.
Yeah, so why do you prefer to hand cut?
I just do. I feel like the edges are better. I've got a certain way that I do it. So, I mean, I've timed it back and forth. I can hand cut a whole car in 12 minutes.
Oh my
So,
god.
I mean, yeah.
You
And
need to teach me.
if the plotter wants to mishandle a piece of film, it's going to take it longer than it's going to take me. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't had a plotter yet, so I'm just like, I want to know how you're cutting fast because I need to get more efficient at it.
yeah. Well, I've got a book and I will give you a copy of it. It's going to end up published and it'll be available for $1.99 for tenors. But it's a hand cutting Bible because I spent so many years hand cutting. And what hand cutting boils down to is knowing which types of cars and how fat the seal is. So like in a Dodge, you can move it over a quarter of an inch, whereas on a Toyota, you need to give it that extra eighth of an inch because the window rots. Or a Lincoln Town Car, it comes out of the glass, so you wait to cut that side till it's out. Just little bitty things that will make your hand cutting go just as fast as the plotter. And so I've written it all down. And
That's
so I'm in the
amazing.
middle of typing it up. I just published a book called 30 Years Past Expiration. It's basically the Tint Diva story. And I did that so it'd be available to the prisons. But so now I have time to type up the hand cutting Bible. But yeah, I think it'll be very useful for shops that don't have a plotter yet.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can just flip to the year, make, and model and see what the trick is instead of wasting film.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Oh my God. I'm saying amazing way too much, but you are amazing. You're inspiring. That's crazy. I never
Thanks
would have thought to make a book about it. Like, that is so needed. Because not everyone
so
can afford a
much.
plotter.
So much, yes. And think of how much film that you waste when you get a car and you've not hand cut it before. And you're like, gosh, and you already know you're going to waste film and, you're going to at least waste one window. Or you're going to lay something you're not quite happy about because you don't have enough film to waste. But
Yeah.
to be able to turn the page to that year, make, and model, and it says, a standard push or, wait to cut the long side or this, that, or the other, and now you're in the game and you don't waste anything.
That book would have really come in handy for me. I did a Bronco the other day, and I haven't done a Bronco in a while. It's been like a couple months, and I used to do them a lot, but like, you forget which corner or which side to cut first, and then it's
Yes.
like, oh, it's off. Now I have to try and trim it perfectly, but like, then the piece is just messed up. And I end up doing that window like 3 times. So I need your
You're
book
exactly right.
ASAP.
Some you have to go to the short side, some you pull it to the long side. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's amazing. Okay. So, what advice do you have for women entering already in the window film industry, like preparing them for the future?
Well, number one, don't give up. It doesn't matter what the guys say. It doesn't matter because we all know you go on the groups and you're hoping to get feedback and you're hoping to get some help, and instead you get made fun of. And us girls, we have feelings. Turn the feelings off. Get
So
very
hard.
thick skin. This
Yeah.
is a job. Who cares? You're probably never going to see that guy that made fun of you anyway. But keep asking, right? Because somebody's going to give you the right answer. And I'm one of those people. I'm a tinner's tinner. Although I charge to train someone, that's because I'm focusing on it. I don't charge to mentor. I can't count the tinners that call me or video me on a daily basis and say, I'm in a bind, walk me through it, and we do it together. And I love that kind of thing. And so there's always someone that will help. So you just keep trying. And number two, come to the events. Come and see that there's more women than you realize. Because online it looks like there's none of us. And then you get there at the events and, all of us girls are friendly. We all might have this space where we don't look friendly, but we're all friendly and we all are willing to help. And we're all like, we all cheerlead each other. So I would tell the women, don't back down. Show your skill. And us women, we're better at tinning. I won't admit that to all the guys, but it's true. We're more meticulous. We want certain small details to come out better, and those are those things that's going to make your name. That's what gets me the Planet Fitness and the Starbucks. That I'm here at this location because corporate called me. The manager of this Starbucks is not paying for this and has nothing to do with it. Corporate Starbucks said, "Hey, you've got one over here. Can you go do it?" Yeah, no problem. That's what gets you that kind of phone calls. Are the small details that a lot of the guys will say, oh, they'll never open that back passenger window. I'm going to leave that small. And they're not going to complain. The customer's not going to complain, but they're not going to forget either.
Yeah, they're just going to not come back.
I don't try to sell anything. A lot of window tinters are trying to sell something. So when the customer calls, they give the entry level price. Then when the customer arrives, then they try to upsell them. That's backwards. Don't do that. When they call, you tell them the top dollar they're going to spend. and then read them. When you get there, if you find out that this is a Toyota Corolla that they drive back and forth to Walmart warehouse every day and nobody cares about heat rejection, tell them, hey, go with the other product, but on your wife's car, let's get the good stuff and let me show you why. And now you've earned a customer for life, and now you don't have to sell them anything. It's the same thing with the houses. I pull up with the proof. Here's how much, and I've got the meter readings where it's lowering the temperature coming through the glass 175, 200 degrees. I've got digital Honeywell printouts showing where these customers are saving 100, 200 kilowatt hours a month on energy. I've got the IRS printout of the 5695 that gives them 30% rebate. So under a year, their product's paid for, and now the tent's paying them to have it. So it sells itself. So you seek to educate. And us women are good at that. I don't sell any flat glass. I go, I educate them, and I leave, and I don't even give them a price. They want my product before they have the price.
That's amazing.
So
yeah,
for women,
smart.
we're good at that part. Just educate,
Yeah, and being compassionate about, like, being understanding of like what their actual needs are.
That's right. That's right. Is when you go in and they're telling you that they've got this one room that's driving them nuts, but they love natural light. Immediately they don't need to tint their whole house. You tell them, let's tint the stuff that's bothering you and keep that natural light. You've got a customer for life. They're going to tell everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And as women, I feel like we're good at reading people.
Yes. Yes. And we're
handy.
good inside the customers' homes. I can't tell you how many customers have tipped us, so well because of how we treat their children. Their children are over there digging in our stuff or touching our film, and we're not being ugly. We're saying, hey, the film will cut you, or, hey, let's not do this. I've even, let them play with my tiny squeegee while I'm busy, whatever's necessary, because their parents are paying me and I'm in their space. It's a different way of going about it. And with the flat glass, you can't go about it as a tinner. Think about it as with the customer. On the customer side, people are coming into their home. There's plumbers, there's HVAC guys, there's all these guys. How do they behave? They're not going in and asking the customer what they want. No, ma'am. They're walking in and telling the customer what they need and then telling them what it's going to cost. And if you behave that way as a tinner, you'll close every house you measure. That's what we do. It pays better. It's less work. It's harder on your body. I mean, it's easier on your body. And you're treated different. You're treated like a professional. And there's all kinds of little tricks. You get HVAC people on your team. You get blinds. You get interior designers, lighting specialists, anybody that's going in the customer's home that can see that the customer can benefit from it. And then you offer them $1 a square foot, or you offer them a no wait for their tent. And that's what most of my referrals choose, because our waiting list is so long. So they'll choose no wait. And when they call, they get to break line, and I'll get them immediately. But in return, the HVAC guy goes out to the house, and these people need a new unit, but they don't have the $5,000-$6,000. And the HVAC guy's like, well, my tinner can knock that bill down, and we'll milk this unit a little longer, and you save your money. Well, not only did the HVAC guy make sure he got the job, but now I got a job. And then once it's done what he said it'll do, they normally end up doing the rest of the home anyway. But, once you get a team of those referrals, it's nonstop. I call it a pipeline. As long as it's a relationship game. As long as I'm steadily keeping that pipeline full of people thinking of me when it comes to mirror film, then it's steadily being filled up. And that's what I want to do for my other shops. Anyone buying window film from the Tint Diva, I want them to get to build the flat glass side. I mean, we doubled our income the first 30 days by saying no to every phone call that was a car. We sent it away to the shop that was 1 mile away. And it was scary at first. It was scary. But it worked. And we doubled the income. And, so it's a different way of going about it. some of the guys see it as a gamble to leave the shop and go and measure. But if you're showing up correctly, you're getting that job. I don't care how many quotes they have. I'm pulling up with a folder with these, professionally made proposals with pictures of my prior work, all the specs of the film, the distributor's name, which is myself. There's samples of the film in there. I've got these books that I've had professionally done. They cost me about $100 a piece. They've got photos of all his prior work, and of course, it's strategic. I've got AT&T and Planet Fitness and Dollar General and churches and all these big jobs. Before the end of the book, the customer has seen something around town that I've tinted. They're like, "Oh, I've seen that building. Yep, that's my work. Oh my gosh, I had no idea." And so while I'm measuring, they're already sold on the work. They're wondering how dark it's going to look out the window or how light. Well, there's the book. You can see for yourself what it looked like, on the other person's home or business or whatever. And then I just measure and I leave it with them. And then it's usually 24 hours before I give them a price. But I book 90% of what I measure.
Wow. That's an amazing rate. Wow, that's cool. I need a
Yeah.
book like that. So do you sell those kind of books now that you sell the film?
I give the books for free as long as you order a roll of film. I don't even require a minimum order. If you are a customer on our books, you have access to all of those things. My proposal books, the play-by-play. I've got a huge email that I have wrote up that I forward that tells you all these backdoor methods. There's one backdoor method that's, it amazes me that I didn't think of it sooner. But let's say we went and tinted Church's chicken. When we get done, we're going to put in the bottom corner tinted by the Tint Diva and the phone number. On Google, if a customer adds a photo, you can't take it off, right? Why not do it the opposite way, which is what we do. We go to that Church's chicken, pull it up on GPS, and now we add our photo and it says tinted by the Tint Diva. Not only is it a nice photo of their building, so it's Google's going to choose it as usually the first photo that they see. But number two, everybody that GPSs to Church's chicken is going to see it. And when they're like, "Oh, look at that mirror film," boom, there's my phone number. I've got one notification where I've had over 1 million views on a Planet Fitness photo. So, you do that, and after a while, it's just snowballing.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah,
But yeah, I give access to all of that.
I'm gonna buy your film as soon as we get off this call. I'm gonna buy a roll.
No joke. Well, and the thing is that it's crazy. Like, in the film market, there's so much play, and I wanted to go about this in a direction that, and I hate to say it this way, but I'm focused on women winning. Men, if they fail at tinting, they can go find something else to do pretty easily and make good money. Mm-hmm. Women, we're limited without a college education. And so I love to focus on making women successful at this. And so like we keep it amazing. We really do. And the product's amazing. It's a no-brainer. Everybody loves our product. It shrinks easy. It lays down easy. It's the CDA glue on the mirror film. So if something's in it, and it releases dry where you drop roll it. So the glue's not even activated till you wet it. So you literally can drop roll it and you forgot to wet your window and you're like, "No problem. Wet, boom." Yes. I mean, it is my favorite film. It is the bee's knees.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, our carbon is our 50, our ceramic is our 70, our super ceramics our 95. Yeah, our best sellers in the DR is 5, 20, and 35. But we carry everything,
So you do automotive and you do flat glass film?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Wow. I sell both.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Well, wow, you answered my questions fast. Is there anything else you want to tell me about? Anything like what's next?
What's next? I want to dive deeper into distribution. I want to start going around and visiting shops. Only 10% of homes in the United States are tinted. That's insane to me.
That is
I
crazy.
think that if Tenners had a plan in motion that they knew that they would win at tinting houses and businesses, then the word would get out. And the more that are tinted, then the more opportunity that is for shops to be able to do that. And so I want to focus on that. So I sell the, automotive film, and it's wonderful film. We use it, all my shops use it, but I'm focusing on the mirror film. I'm focusing on getting that education out there and teaching the shops to sell it and get the accounts. And, every homeowner you see is your customer. Nobody is going to tell you they don't want to save on utilities. Nobody's going to tell you that they don't want their new floor to fade. You know what I mean? Like every one of them's your customer. They don't know it's a possibility. And with the home, it's a 30% rebate. So I want to get out and see more shops in person and show them and walk them through the actual process that we use. And I'm building a website and a connection where everybody that buys film from me is on that site. My ads already go out nationwide. So I give out referrals in all kinds of cities and states when people call me. And so I would like that to become a network. So the Tint Diva is still the one pushing the houses and businesses. But when someone in New Jersey calls and says, hey, I need this, I'll say, oh yeah, sure, Tint and More can handle you. They're on my list. If not, here's the list, and it's a site where the customers can go and find a Tint Diva approved shop to do their so I essentially want to become the authority on black glass, just like I am in my markets. I want to do that in every state using other tint shops, Tint Diva backed.
Yeah, that's cool. So, how do I get on that? I just buy a roll of film and then I'm in?
That's it. Yeah. You
Okay.
only have to buy a roll of film. That's it. And you're in. And you send me your email and I send you all the stuff. And in your box of film, you get the entire proposal packet that I actually give the customer. You have permission to, repeat it. You have permission to copy it, do whatever you'd like. It's available to you by email, so you can easily have it printed and adjusted and whatever you'd like. And then I'm available 24/7. Window Tint Queen over in California, her and Shaven Dave, they're customers of mine with flat glass, and I talk to them all the time. I walked them through the Wells Fargo job, and that's the best part about it. You don't want to be embarrassed in front of a customer and you don't know what to do, and you did great at selling it and you got the job, but now you're stuck and you don't know what to do, and you don't want to post on Facebook and wait an hour to get an answer. So, you call your film distributor and I'm going to walk you through it. You hit the video button and let me see what you got, and I can tell you what to do, play by play. And so, that in itself is gold, because we know how much it costs to get trained in anything to do with window tint. And so this way, I just feel like it's an extra thing that you're getting for a film that's worth what is being charged. I mean, I'm not going to mention my pricing on here because I don't want it to turn into me advertising. But the point being is, it's not overpriced, and so you're getting, a wonderful product. But on top of that, you're getting everything to go with it to make sure that you're going to install it and sell it, and your customer's going to be happy. And at any point in time you get in a bind, you call, I'll walk you through it. That's my favorite part.
That's my favorite part, because no one else does that. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to charge you a couple hundred, couple thousand for a phone call, like. That's
and again,
amazing.
all I'm
Nobody
doing
else
is repeating. Yeah, this is the same
yeah.
recipe that was given to me. This is how I got where I'm at. When I would get in a bind on flat glass, I would call. or I would know someone else was bidding and I would call. He stopped and would walk me through it, and he, would give me the resources, and he provided the proposal packet that I now provide to others. And so I'm just passing on what was passed to me, and he didn't charge me. And if you stop and think about it, just like me giving away the shops, and then they later on, it was 2 or 3 years after gifting the shop before I became a distributor, a private label. So I didn't make anything for all that time, but now that it's full circle, now I am. Well, it's the same thing with the mirror film. The more mirror film that my retail customers shops are selling, the more mirror film I'm selling, so everybody wins. And I think that's where the bigger box labels kind of get a little muddy, is because they are corporations. They do have to think about how much they're selling, and me being so small, I can focus on making sure my shop succeeds.
Yeah. So do you have a shop now, or do you just you just completely do the residential and commercial?
I still keep shops. I got a shop here in Palestine. I've got a shop there in Gadsden. Mandy's shop's a mile up the road, the one I gave away. My shop in Gadsden's my biggest one. I can hold about 5 vehicles in there. The main reason that I've kept the shops is, number one, I knew I was going to distribute. It took me 3 years to get this contract, so I've been working on it for a long, long time. And mullet wraps. And so I needed him to be able to have paint booth type environment so he could do his job properly. And so, and then when we do choose to do cars, then we've got the room for them. So, but yeah, I keep a shop. Right now, the biggest shop, we use half of it as a lobby, but we're fixing to make that whole front lobby what I'm calling a showroom. And so shops that I sell film to can come and see what customers are seeing. I'll get some storm doors and some French pane windows and these kind of things, and they'll be set up around in there. And so the customers can see it, the flat glass, displayed. Right now, I just have the heat box in the lobby with just the flat glass film. And when I tell you that's a game changer, you cannot feel any heat at all when you push that button. That mirror film stops it, all of it. You think ceramic is stopped by a heat box? Mm-mm. That mirror film, it sells them immediate.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Throw you a piece of mirror film on one of those sample piece of glasses and see what you feel when you push that button.
Yeah, I'm going to now. I'm gonna go get some now.
Yeah, it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
And you're a game changer, because I've been so scared to go and jump out to the commercial because I don't know anything. I've been doing cars for so long that people are like, "Oh, it's a whole different world," and I'm like, "Oh, a whole nother world." I've been doing this for so long. Changing is scary, but with someone like you on my side, that's totally possible.
Absolutely. And don't think of it as a different world as scary. Think of it as like Disney World, because it's a quarter of the work. Think of, how your car customers are all pushy and it's all about their timeline and how fast and these different things. The homeowners don't think that way. They're going to have their home for a very long time. So they don't want to be rushed, and they don't rush you. And so all it is shifting gears in your mind and throwing on a little clothes that either is, tint clothes that say that you're a tinter, or dress business casual. But it's literally just a gear you flip in your head. And literally, once you learn the pattern, it comes natural. To us women, it does. Because we're going in and we're looking at the home and we're like, oh, yeah, you could use some help here, here, and here. Another big thing, tint your home if you can. If it's an apartment, I understand. But I've even had tinters that tint the apartment, check their bill, and then take it back off so they don't get in trouble. But at any rate, watch your own utility bill go down. So you've got it, because you're able to explain a product better that you completely understand and believe in. And when you've seen it, my utility bills go down in summer. I average about 180, 190 during winter. I'm 110 and under during summer, and I'm in menopause, so I'm keeping it on 62, but that mirror film, it's no joke. You're only it's 87% solar total energy, whatever you call it. So you're air conditioning and heating 13% of the elements. Game changer.
Oh my God.
With the buildings, you go in and you find the person that's responsible for lowering the cost of the building. And like I say, all these things are available in what I provide to you. Yeah, but it's all little backdoor methods. It's all little Monday details that all revolve around relationships. And you literally just keep doing your cars, and you spend an hour or two every day dedicated to the flat glass. And the truth of it is, car customers aren't that great at showing up at the 8 a.m. appointments. So do like 8 to 10 a.m. is when you work on flat glass and market flat glass, and then start your cars at 10 a.m. Then you don't lose any income as you're building your flat glass. And then you'll look up and you're not going to have time for cars.
That's amazing. That's super smart. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that now.
Yeah.
So how did you find like your people to like your HVAC people and like the people to help you kind of grow that? Like, because you said you have like, your blinds people and all that. Like, how
Yeah.
did you find them? You just went to
Just
businesses?
going and being friendly to them. What I do is I take a business card and I take $100 bill and I put the business card on it and I throw it on my copier. And I pull up at the different locations and I've got the same proposal that I would take to a customer to measure their building or house or whatever. But now I'm at the HVAC company, and I'm making friends with them. And I'm like, here's your $100, gift certificate, check this out. And, if I could be of use to you, blah, blah, blah. And I show them all the same things. And I let them see the book and they see that it's worth their time. And then you either offer them $1 a square foot to give you the referrals, or B, you offer them first in line when they want window tint. And like I say, a lot of mine choose first in line because, it's not uncommon for us to have a 6-week waiting list. So,
Wow.
yeah. And so they prefer to skip the waiting list, but there's some that want $1 a square foot. I got to tint JJ Watt's house and I paid $650 to the blinds lady. Same thing with her. I made friends with her. There's customers that are wanting to achieve, something specific, and they can't achieve it with the blinds, or they can't achieve it with, the lighting or whatever it is, but they could with the tint. Well, that lighting specialist, that blinds customer, they don't want to lose that customer. Same thing with carpets, flooring companies. They're selling their product to the customer. They're getting an idea of which customers want to protect what they're paying for. Well, boom, call the Tint Diva. And so you just constantly going by and leaving cards with them. I have little pamphlets made that they can literally just hand to the customer, and it's got their business name on it, so I know where the referral came from. It'll get to where some of my guys could care less. They don't care about the $1 a square foot or the bump in the line. They literally see that you're helping. You're helping. Nobody can afford their energy bills or their food cost right now. So if you can help somebody get that cost down, and then the IRS is going to rebate you 30% of what you spent, and then you're going to get the rest back in under a year, it's a guaranteed way to save money. So it's just a relationship game. You just get to be friends with everybody in town that you can. There's B&I groups that I know some tenders go to, where they go and meet with different companies and, have breakfast and share referrals. I've not gotten a whole lot out of that. I'm not saying not to do it. It works for some people, but my recipe doesn't include that one.
What is
It's all,
B&I?
it's a business networking, integration or something. It is what the 3 letters stand for. But what it is corporate type salespeople that'll all meet, let's say once a month on a Monday at the donut shop, and they'll all sit around and explain what they do for a living and share referrals and stuff like this. And that could be helpful as well, because it's a relationship game too. But the B&Is, they charge you money. My recipe doesn't cost any money.
I like your recipe better. It's
Yeah,
more
my recipe's
personable too.
organic. And
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
less risk.
Yeah, absolutely. You're
Yeah.
very inspiring. You've opened my eyes with this flat glass world already, and I barely
I'm
talked to
so
you.
glad.
I'm so ready to dive into it.
And when I tell you the customers will make you stop and eat, I've had them cook me supper. They think about it ahead of time, like they'll move their furniture, they'll take down mini blinds. And here's why. They've been waiting for a product like this, and they're so happy that they found it, that they love you. And so it's opposite of the cars. And so for us women, we love it. We love it.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
love it. I do.
Yeah, same. Same. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all this information. I'm gonna be, texting you if that's okay for some more info.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna buy
Thank you
some
so much
film
for
and
having me.
yeah, thank you. Oh my god, I'm so glad I talked to you. And I wanted to talk to you at Tinner Battles. I was watching you and I was like, "She's a badass." I saw you on the wall. Montana told me who you were, and I was like, "I wanna go talk to her." But
Yes.
you were busy and everything was crazy,
Yes,
so
I'm so sorry. Yes, so look, that was my boyfriend, the guy that was there, and that was his first time to be in Florida. He'd never been to Florida. He had just flew in from Midland. They had messed up his flight, so he had to pay for a second round trip flight. So it cost him
Oh,
2 round trip tickets. He ended
that's
up
rough.
driving back with me to the Alabama shop. So yes, it was wild. And I was like in every direction. And then I'm back and forth to the airport, taking mullet. I mean, the whole nine.
Aw.
So yeah, I normally have more time to visit. So next event, I will definitely visit with you.
Please, yes, please. Are you gonna be at the next event? The one in Tennessee?
Absolutely.
Okay, good, good, good.
Yes. Yes. Isn't
I'm
the
gonna
next
talk
one
to you.
WFR?
Yes, I believe so. That's the soonest one I know.
That's only 45 minutes from my shop. So, girl, if you're going to be there, if you would like, you can totally sneak off with me and go see headquarters, and I can show you some things. You get some top secrets.
Yes, please. Yes, I will. I'm
Yes.
gonna sneak away with you for sure.
Yes, I got you.
Thank you. Us women have to stick
Yes.
together because it is a rough
Yes.
world out there.
I'm telling you. Well, and that's like the shop that's a mile away from me. That my ex-employee, she flat out told me, she said, "I do not want to compete and I will not compete against you." She'd worked for me for all these years. She knew that, it would. And I said, "This is not a competition. This is a team effort. You're going to take the cars, I'm going to take the flat. If and we talk almost every day.
Yeah,
So if she's running short, I'll throw her a flat glass, or, if I don't have enough flat and I'm gonna do some cars, I keep a few cars. It's just whatever. But it's a team
yeah.
effort. It's not a competition. Not at all.
Yeah, and that's the difference between women is, like, whenever I left my, like, ex-partner, like, to go out on my own, like, everyone was like, "Oh, why don't you just stay? Why don't you just, like, take it?" Like, and I was like,
Yeah,
"I'm not gonna do that to him. He gave me everything. He taught me everything I know, like, that's my
exactly.
guy." Like, I'm like and he throws me stuff, I throw him stuff. Like,
Exactly.
whenever, like, someone wants something a little cheaper, more like and I can't get to him in time, I send him, to him. He doesn't want anything to do with flat glass, so he sends me all his flat glass. Like,
Yes.
keeping those relationships and not burning people is what a lot of
Yes.
people just don't I don't know, don't
Yep.
understand, don't wanna do, but
Yep. And the right customers, they're noticing. I can't count
Mhm.
how many times I've passed off a customer, and the next car they get, they call me again. "Are you still not tinting cars? If you're not, can I get that number again?" Because now they know I'm not being greedy. I'm not going to make them wait, 8 weeks when the girl up the road can get you with my same product. And if you don't like it or there's a problem, I'll warranty it for you, but you can get in next week over there.
Yeah.
They love that. They don't
Yeah.
want to see us bickering. They don't want to hear us talking bad about each other. They just want a good job at a good price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're inspiring, very
I'm
inspiring.
so glad. I'm so glad. I love to help.
Thank you so much. It was great having you. Looks like we're out of time, but I
Yes,
definitely wanna have
ma'am.
you back on here sometime very soon.
Yes,
I
please
need to
do.
I need to pick your brain some more.
Yes, and you've got my number. You hit me up anytime. I'll be glad to help you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Tint Diva.
Yeah, buddy.
What's happening? What's happening?
Oh,
Hey, definitely. We appreciate you coming on the show. You know what I mean?
thanks for having me.
Yeah. I wanted to let y'all chat before I jump in at the end. But yeah, definitely. You helped me out with a couple pointers on some flat glass stuff. So you know what I mean. So yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely contribute a lot. So we appreciate that and everything what you do. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
sir. I
So
want
yeah,
everybody to win. It ain't no fun to be at the top by yourself.
I know it's
right,
lonely
right.
at the top.
I know. And then people try to, you know what I'm saying? People try to look at everybody as competition when it ain't even
It
like it's enough
ain't.
out here for all
Mm-mm.
of us, you know?
That's
So
right. That's right.
yeah. So awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate your time and we appreciate your skill and the knowledge that you just shared with
Yes,
Kayla
sir.
and me because I was listening in. But yeah, definitely we'll see you. We'll see you at WFR, you know, at the reunion.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for coming.
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. I'll see you guys soon.
I'll see
All
you
right. Have a
soon.
good
I'm gonna
one.
see your shop soon.
Absolutely. I'm taking you. I'm sneaking off with you.
I'm sneaking off with her, Montana. You hear that?
All right, cool. Hey, I already know you with a good person, so she'll take care of you.
That's right.
Awesome. All right, Lisa. We'll see you and tell Mother I say hello too.
Yes, sir. I sure will.
All right.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. That was great. Great
That was
interview.
awesome.
That was Lisa, the Tint Diva, you know, and she do her thing. Kayla, the interview was great. We know that Alicia, she was out grinding, working, still tending, and that's what happened to us tenders out here. You know, when we out there in the field or we working and we tending, it's like, man, you know, sometimes we end up with more cars than we expect, and we have to go ahead and tend them. And so most definitely, man, Ace out there grinding. Shout out to Ace of Shades. We know you would have been here with us, but we know
I
you out
missed
there
you,
making
girl.
the money. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But it's all good. But yeah, definitely thank everybody for tuning in to the Tent Life Podcast. Anything you want to say to the people, Kayla?
Thank you so much for listening and have a good day. See you next time.
Awesome. See y'all. Take it easy.
Bye.